People ask on a year-to-year basis, what is the best Medicare supplement plan for me based on my area and based on coverage? But it's not always about coverage alone. It's also rate increases on a long-term basis that you have to take into consideration. Medicare supplement plans, also known as Medigap plans, come with yearly price increases, and every single insurance company does it, regardless of where you live and regardless of any promises they might make that they won't. I assure you, every single plan will go up in price each and every year as you get older. But what are these actual numbers look like in terms of price increases? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the insurance plans that go up the least amount over the last couple of years and what that can tell you going into 2026. My name's Christian Brindle. I run a company called Everything Senior Insurance, formerly known as Christian Brindle Insurance Services, and we service Medicare beneficiaries in 46 states with no cost or fees of any kind and lifetime ongoing fantastic top-notch customer service. We have a 5-star review rating anywhere that you can actually check for reviews, and we have thousands of happy and satisfied customers with our service. We specialize in Medicare and we eat, sleep, and breathe it. In short, we speak Medicare. And in this video, I'm going to try to break down for you exactly what you need to know when it comes to Medicare supplement plans. So let's get right into it. So the vast majority of people that do get onto Medicare supplement plans will typically get on only a couple of plans. There are 10 different Medicare supplement plans that exist today. These plans are standardized by the government, and a Medicare supplement plan is much different than a Medicare Advantage plan. It acts as a secondary insurance to your Medicare. So Medicare acts as primary. Medicare A and B together work like two pieces of a puzzle that fit together to give you medical coverage, but they cover only about 80% of those medical bills, and they also leave behind some deductibles. Well, there's no limit to what that 20% of out-of-pocket responsibility you have could be, and a Medicare supplement plan comes in and plugs in those holes and plugs in those gaps. The Medicare supplement plans innately and fundamentally do not come with prescription drug coverage or dental because they only pay for things that Medicare covers first. And so you typically have to get separate prescription drug plans, separate dental, vision, and hearing plans. But when you have the medical coverage together, you are double covered between Medicare and your supplemental insurance through the private insurance company. And so because of this, you typically have very low out-of-pocket responsibilities and full medical coverage, if not close to full medical coverage, depending on the exact plan that you're looking at. Most people will get either Plan G, Plan F, Plan N. Now, less and less people all the time are getting Plan F because it was grandfathered away to newly eligible Medicare beneficiaries starting January 1st of 2020. That was due to a bill the government passed called MACRA that grandfathered away Plan Fs and C. Plan F was the far more popular of the two because it was the only plan that between Medicare and your supplemental insurance plan left behind no copays, no deductibles, no out-of-pocket responsibility on the medical side as long as it was a Medicare-covered service. Now, G and N are the two most popular plans today nationwide. G is exactly the same as the Plan F in every single way, except for G does not cover what's known as the Medicare Part B deductible. And typically the Medicare Part B deductible fluctuates every year, but it's a one-time-a-year deductible that you're responsible for, and then once it's met, you have full coverage for the rest of the year. It's typically only on Part B charges, which are medical charges, which could be doctor visits, durable medical equipment, outpatient surgeries, but that's all that you pay. And rest assured, like I said, it is one time a year charge. People like Plan G because it's simplistic. Now, the Plan N, on the other hand, is exactly the same as the Plan G. You also are responsible for that Medicare Part B deductible that is one time a year, but you're also responsible for a couple of different copays along the way as well. You're responsible for an up to $20 doctor copay. It could be less depending on the doctor. You're also responsible for a $50 emergency room copay. And also you're responsible for what's known as Medicare Part B excess charges. What those are is essentially if your doctor or provider wants to tack on any extra charges to your visit, it would not be covered by a Plan N. Now, typically, it's unheard of for doctors to charge this in 2025 going into 2026, but if they ever were charged, they would be passed down to you, whereas the Plan G and the Plan F cover those, okay? So these are the three most popular Medicare supplement plans we see, but Over the recent years, we've seen a little bit of a surge in popularity on high deductible Medicare supplement plans as lower priced alternatives, as pricing and costs for Medicare supplement plans has begun to rise. What high deductible Medicare supplement plans are is traditionally you've had high deductible plan F and high deductible plan G, which are the exact same plans as a plan F and a plan G. It's just you have a large deductible. In 2026, it's estimated to be about $3,000 a year that you have to pay before the Medicare supplement plan pays anything. It's good if you're typically a lower utilizer or you're a healthier individual. But what most people get wrong about Medicare supplement high deductible plans is that you still have Medicare as your primary, paying the 80% first of the cost share. The deductible only deals with your secondary insurance and the 20% they pay. So you're still getting 80% of your medical bills paid by original Medicare. It's just the secondary that has that high deductible responsibility that you are responsible for. And like I said, sometimes these are attractive to folks because they can get the freedom of open access of a Medicare supplement and very good medical coverage without having to pay as high of premiums that we're seeing for your traditional plan Fs, Gs, and Ns. But what is the truth of all these plans, of what their long-term rate increases have been over the past couple of years? Well, we've seen higher price increases on average than we've seen in many years, but which plans specifically go up the least versus the most? Okay, there's a lot of opinions about this, but we're going to go to the actual data, and I went to our top researcher, Mr. ChatGPT, to kind of unveil it all for you. So without further ado, let's go over there and I'll show you what the data says. So the question that we posed to ChatGPT specifically was this: what was the average Medigap plan rate increase in 2025, and how does it compare with 2024 and 2023 if you are looking at all plans and companies together? Also, tell me which plans itself has the lowest rate increase for those same years, plans F, G, N, etc. Now, ChatGPT is a large language model, as most of you probably know. So what it's going to do is it's going to scour the internet for data and articles relating to this information and summarize it for us in a nice little compiled summary for us here, right? As you can see, it had to think about it for about 45 seconds. We are using ChatGPT 5, which is the paid, more efficient model of the service. So typically it provides pretty good data. And most of the data it's pulling from is from CSG Actuarial, which is a highly respected data company related to healthcare and Medicare specific data, and has been around for a very long period of time, right? 10, 15 years or more. Okay, so this is a good source it's pulling from CSG Actuarial. So if you look at the data, if you factor in all Medicare supplement plans in general in the country, in 2023, the average rate increase was 5.5%. In 2024, the average rate increase was 7.8%, which was the highest since 2011. But this year, we saw the Medicare supplement rate increases really explode. The average was just over 10% across all plans year to date at the time of recording this video, and with Plan G specifically averaging 12% plus, the highest among the big plans shown. Okay, so what does this tell us? It tells us that Medicare supplements are seeing the rate increases become higher and higher and higher every year over the past couple of years. Now, why is this? There's a lot of different types of opinions related to this, but, it really comes down to the increasing cost of medical care, inflation, and everything else like that in between. That's kind of the after effects of what we saw in the last 5 years with record high inflation numbers and things like that. Now, will it calm back down and lower back down in the years to come? We can only hope, but as of right now, the trend is going up on average for these Medicare supplement price increases. Now, which plan itself had the lowest rate increases? Well, this is interesting data here. In 2023, a high deductible plan G actually had the lowest average increase of 2.8%, lower than a plan N of 4.6, a plan G of 5.9, and a plan F of 6.1. Now, this was 2 years ago in 2023. If you look at 2024, same thing. High deductible G again had the lowest rate increase of 4.6, but that was around double almost what it was in 2023. Plan G was the highest at 9. Plan N was right behind it at 8.2, and Plan F was right behind it as well at 8.8. And then this year, as of now, year to date, specifies that Plan G is the highest at 12% plus, but doesn't print the exact 2025 figures for Plan F and high deductible G in the article. That's probably because we are in the middle of the year. We don't have all the data yet. But if you can look at the trends on this, the rate increases are going up. But the trends also dictate and show that these high deductible Medicare supplement plans, like high deductible G, for example, have the lowest rate increases of any plan. So what does this mean? We'll kind of take it back to the full screen here, and I'll give you my thoughts on what this data actually means. So in short, high deductible Medicare supplement plans, if you're interested in knowing about rate increases, will give you the best chance of having the lowest rate increases possible. Why? Simple. Because they have these high deductibles, people think twice before they go to the doctors. They're also typically picked up by lower utilizers because typically people that have a lot of chronic long-term medical conditions don't pick them up because they have more out-of-patient responsibility and out-of-pocket responsibility for you as the member to pay. Simple, right? The healthiest people typically gravitate towards those plans, and they also are lower utilizers, so there's less rate increases than your Plan Gs, Plan Fs, Plan Ns. Now, what is the best Medicare supplement plan for you? Well, in my opinion, I think it all depends on where you live and your situation. And I know that might seem like a cop-out answer, but bear with me on this. If you are a high utilizer and you have a lot of medical conditions, a Plan G is probably going to be your best option despite the higher rate increases because of everything it's going to save you on the medical side, okay? It's going to have the closest thing you can get to full medical coverage if you're new to Medicare. Plan F is not an option anymore if you're new to Medicare now. If you're eligible for Medicare before 2020 and you can pass health questions, sure, an F is on the table for you. But typically the prices have become so inflated on those for new members, we typically see that the Plan G just makes more financial sense anyway. If you're a little bit of a lower utilizer, you want to roll the dice a little bit, you just see a couple doctors a year, Plan N can lower your rates. And in some areas, Plan N has substantial rate increase differences and also starting price differences than the G, right? It can be in some areas $40, $50, $60 a month less on your starting out rate than the G. But in other areas, it's not so much. It might only be $15 or $20 difference. So if it's a small difference, I would probably go with the G. So it does depend a little bit on where you are. Also, if you are in a health condition where you do need more care and you're using your plan more often, like I said, a G or an N is going to make more sense than a high deductible plan. It just does. Because if you're going to have to pay that high deductible, it's probably not a good idea unless you're pretty healthy. Now, if you're relatively healthy and you're a low utilizer and you feel good about your future, high deductible Plan Gs can be a fantastic option for you. There also are some Medicare supplement companies that we work with that I can't talk about on this video that will let you change within their company. So you could start on a high deductible plan today and without any health questions change to a regular G tomorrow, and even if your health deteriorates, right, with no health questions, no underwriting, that is available right now today. So that's always something that it gives you the opportunity to where you're not bound into decision no matter what you make. If you'd like help on your Medicare supplement plans, give us a call at Everything Senior Insurance. One of our licensed team members are fantastic and they can help you find the best option based on where you are and your needs and your specific situation. Our number is 801-255-5340. Again, 801-255-5340. There's no cost for our services. There's no obligation. So give us a call today, licensed in 46 states, and have a fantastic reputation with all of our clients on their Medicare plans over the years. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and you like to see the actual numbers behind some of this stuff, do us a favor. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help so many more Medicare beneficiaries like you find this information who desperately need to hear it. Make sure to subscribe. We put out weekly videos that help you out with your Medicare selections. Make sure to comment your thoughts down below. What do you think the best Medicare supplement plan is in 2026? We'd love to have a dialogue with you about it and hear your opinions. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I'm Christian Brindle with Everything Senior Insurance, and happy Medicare, everybody.